Yo, what is good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Renegade Roundtable podcast here. I am Jeffrey Kirby. As always, each and every week, we are joined by Jared. Jared, how in the hell are you?
It's been a long week, grinding. The draft is done finally and over with. We can actually talk about the picks that we made, which I think it was a good draft overall for us. Other than that, that's it. Pretty good.
Already got a comment here. First one of the day from Derpy saying, F the Celtics.
Yeah.
All I got to say to that is, while yes, I agree, I am also very, very, very happy in the team that they beat in the first round.
Yeah. At least we didn't get swept. I could be happy about that.
So, well, the Cavs did the sweeping. So go on to face the Indiana Pacers here in the second round. It'll be interesting to see. I think it's going to be an action. I think I could see the Pacers stealing a game or so. I still think the Cavs are going to pretty easily win that series, but I do think it's going to be a good test because I think they're an actual team.
Yeah. It's unlike the Miami frauds.
Derpy here also says Will Howard and Jack Sawyer are gods.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we're going to get there. That's kind of the basis of today's show is we're just going to sit here for an hour. We're just going to praise Ohio State. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're going to talk about the picks that the Steelers made, which did include a couple Ohio State players, and just kind of discuss what we thought about them and kind of as the draft was going on, what our thought processes were in terms of what was going on within the draft. But overall, just with the draft in itself, what were your overall thoughts on it? Any surprises? Anything that shocked you?
I was surprised the Jags moved up to go to 2. I thought they were going to go in the trade down. I'm surprised they went up. They gave up, a little haul to get Travis Hunter, which respectfully is if it works out, it's a good trade. You got a guy that plays both sides of the ball. Other than that, I was the Steelers pick. I'm surprised that. I don't think a lot of people were surprised, but Shedeur falling. I think that's the main topic to the 5th round. Is the main topic I think everyone's surprised of, because that once we got our pick at 21, you saw I was like, please be Derek Harmon at this pick, because I did not. As much as I would love to have Shedeur Sanders, maybe I don't know. I just rather defensive line. I think it's more important need, and the Steelers done that. They addressed the more important needs. Even though quarterback is still an important need, they got one in the 6th with Will Howard, a winner, national champion from Kirby's school, the University of Ohio State.
Hold on. You got to say it correctly.
I'm sorry. I'm not
from the world famous national champion, world famous Ohio State Buckeyes.
But the Jack Sawyer pick is the most surprising one, I would say, because 4th round, I guess was where they got him. But I just that was a surprising pick. I thought they were going somewhere else, maybe a corner, maybe something else that's more important. But it was a good pick, good value for him. Caleb Johnson, I'm really excited to see how he works out. I think that was a great pick in the 3rd round. We didn't have a round 2 pick. Round 2 pick was DK Metcalf, so I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, but Caleb Johnson, I'm really excited to see. I think that's probably. I hope he's really good.
Overall, with this, real quick, I'm going to talk for a second on the first round. Within the first round of the draft, I'm looking at it right now. Cam Moore, number 1, no surprise.
Nope.
We heard some rumblings that there was something going on, and when I was in the green room over at the Draft Nation Draft Show, we got word that hey, something is going to go down, and we kind of had intel on what was going on. And so it was like, all right, here we go. And when the trade officially did happen, then it's like, all right. And it's funny, too, because the Browns, it was weird that this draft, The last time that the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns were 1-2 were 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Tennessee traded out, and number 2, Cleveland had traded out.
Yep.
And then it's funny that this time again, the Browns traded out at number 2 again. Now, I saw Cleveland fans bitching and moaning about this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. To me, and this is me talking logical, like I'm not trolling. This is take an age. This is me being real.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this to my Browns fan friends. The trade to me was actually a very smart thing to do, because considering the fact that you're not winning this year.
Mm-hmm.
You're not winning this year. So what do? You acquire additional picks.
Yep.
Not only in this year's draft, but in next year's draft. The class that everyone is talking about, the quarterbacks, great. You have yourself now 2 first-round picks. Now, let me caution this. I'm going to go off topic for half a second. And I noticed that we've talked about the next year's quarterback class, which, the draft will be in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
The thing that people aren't talking about as much when they're, and I'm not talking about the real deal draft, or the real deal ball knowers, but a lot of like when we hear conversations, when you're having conversations about the draft and all that as next year's, everyone just keeps on bringing up the same quarterbacks, which they should. Except there's 2 caveats to this.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, who's to say that Arch Manning's coming out next year?
It's very true.
Because that's not the Manning way to come out early, especially when he's only had 2 starts so far.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
They're not worried about getting to the NFL early. The money, they're not worried about that.
Nope.
They are there to develop. They are there. There's a reason why Arch Manning stayed all the way through, even when Quinn Ewers was the starting quarterback the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
There was a reason for that. They trust Steve Sarkisian and that offense.
He could have went anywhere else.
He could have. He literally could have went to any college he wanted to, but he decided to stay at Texas and develop. And he's doing things the correct way.
Mm-hmm.
He's the very, very, very minority side of things when it comes to how teams are or how players are in today's world of college football.
Yep.
With the transfer portal, he stayed put. He's going to develop there. He'll probably stay all 4 years, and it'll probably be 2027 when he comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the second caveat to this: is people are also talking about. I mean, you got guys like Drew Aller. I know guys have talked about Carson Beck.
Yep.
Again, there's been other quarterbacks that have been discussed. Who's to say that next year's draft class, you could have a guy that stays in school again and is like, okay, maybe this quarterback class isn't as great again.
Yeah.
Because remember last year, for talking about this year's draft class, we were talking about Carson Beck. We were talking about Cam Ward had gotten discussed. We were talking about Quinn Ewers. We were talking about Drew Aller.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of those quarterbacks didn't come back, and one of them ended up flunking out into the 7th round.
Yep.
So you got to be careful with that as well.
Yeah, we just got to wait and see. Everyone just, excited. We'll see, who decides to come into the draft next year.
Yep. Moving along on here, number 3, Giants, Abdul Carter, no surprise. 4, New England, no surprise. Mason Graham, number 5 to the Browns. I think, again, that was actually kind of a smart move.
Yep.
Genty, no surprise. Membu, no surprise. Yes. Tet McMillan to Carolina. I love the fact that they did that.
I'm glad they did it. I thought they would.
I was peer pressured into when we did our mock draft 3.0. I got peer pressured into having them take a linebacker. Mm-hmm. When deep down, and look at my first 2 mock drafts, I had them going receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So deep down, I believe that they really all along should have went with wide receiver, but I got caught up in what everyone else was saying instead of going with a mile lane, and it backfired. But they did a smart move and got himself a weapon. The Saints getting Kelvin Banks is interesting, but also got to remember Trevor Penning has been a god awful there.
Yeah.
Colston Loveland being tight end 1 was a little interesting.
That was a little shock.
However, but it depends on the style of tight end that you're looking for. Do you want that more of the receiver-ish kind of tight end, or you want more of the kind of well-rounded kind of guy?
Yep.
So, other than that, kind of looking around, when the Dolphins selected Kenneth Grant, I was pissed.
Yep.
Shamar Stewart going to the Bengals made me very happy.
I was surprised it went that high. Yeah.
I was very happy with that because I'm not a fan of Shamar Stewart. I'll be very honest. 18, Gray Zabel. I remember back in January,
we talked
in my mock draft 1.0, I put out there that I had the Seattle Seahawks taking it was at that time, it was, I believe, Tyler Booker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And I posted it in a Facebook group. It was a draft Facebook group. I got ridiculed to shreds. The Seahawks are not taking a guard, an interior offensive lineman in the first round. They are not doing that. Are you stupid? And so I had the great joy of going back to that and commenting and say, oh, how did that go? I'm so pissed. They should have gotten some. Oh, shut the hell up.
They need it. Their offensive line is horrible.
Tampa Bay getting Emeka Egbuka that shocked me.
Apparently, it's something. Unless you look deeper into it, apparently it's something with the slot. Mike Evans is a little older. Chris Godwin's coming off an injury. I guess that I spoke to one of the person that's a Bucs fan. He was kind of shocked too, but I was very shocked he went that high.
Moving along here, obviously the Steelers got Derek Carmen. We'll talk about that. The Packers get Matthew Golden. That was really nice. The Giants trading back into the first round to get Jackson Dart. That was oof.
The Giants are
that deal don't move out. You guys are getting fired kind of move.
Yep.
Ravens get Malachi Starks, of course. Of course.
I like the Eagles pick a lot at 32.
I was just getting ready to go there. Well, they traded up one spot with Kansas City to get you Hot Campbell, and
the rich get richer, as we say.
Yep.
Like that. What a pick for the Eagles right there.
Them damn Eagles. So yeah, that's kind of the quick overall thoughts within the first round. That I have. Let's talk about the picks that the Steelers made within the first, or within this 2025 NFL draft. Obviously, we've talked. We got Derek Carmen. You and me are both very happy about that pick.
I was happy it wasn't a quarterback.
Yeah, it was. X was a shit show that last 24, 48 hours before the draft.
Oh my God, man! And people were upset about not getting him. I was like, you guys don't understand. There's all the other teams passed up on him. You went all the way down to the 5th round. And there's a consensus.
Obviously, second round pick. It was DK Metcalf, which I mean, shit, you're
pretty happy with that.
The third round, number 83 overall, Caleb Johnson from Iowa. Listen, he's more of that north-south runner, but hey, he's going to be that guy to. So you got another compliment with Jaylen Warren. I wonder how many touches Jaylen Warren's going to get. It's gonna be interesting to see what this, but
I'm very happy with that pick. It was smiling ear to ear when we picked up Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. It was really, really good.
The fourth round pick, that 123 overall, obviously, as Derby had mentioned earlier, Jack Sawyer, the edge rusher from the Ohio State Buckeyes. That was a little interesting to say because Jack Sawyer is someone that's more, and you know what? I can kind of understand it when you talk about it from this perspective. Jack Sawyer is, first off, he's a fourth round pick. You know who else was recently a fourth round pick for the Steelers? Nick Herbig. He's been nice. So you have kind of a 4-man rotation you could have. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, and Jack Sawyer. And Jack Sawyer can also be that complement to the into the run game part of things.
Yeah.
So did we have maybe somewhat bigger needs, quote unquote? Yeah, you could say that. However, you could look at it from a multitude of directions. You could say, hey, we might have needed a corner, but if you could get someone that could also, help stop the run and get to the quarterback, maybe that's how you help your corners out that way.
Maybe there's a free agent corner. Maybe you can look out too. I don't know. They need to sign one. I think, you got Slay, Porter, Eccles, Trice as the rotation, right? And then Beanie Bishop. I think one more corner would be fine. It's my preference.
And then you get into the 5th round, number 164 overhaul, or you got what is it? Yaha?
YA Black is what people have been saying.
YA? Yep. YA Black, the defensive tackle from Iowa. So you get 2 guys that are going to be interior guys. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I have I don't know much about him.
No
idea. But seems like people are all right with the pick. I'm like, all right.
Double dipping, you can't never have too much. Defensive lineman.
Kind of looking over his of course they gotta always play some ads. Just kind of looking around, looking at the strengths, big frame, 7-foot wingspan. Let's see, the weaknesses they have are below average balance, lacks twitchiness, zone blocks can easily reach him and seal him, below average snap quickness, and will probably offer little help as a pass rusher. All right, well, pretty much, you're probably getting him to, he's 6'6", 336 with 35-inch arms. I think you're looking at him more of as a run defender anyway.
Yep.
The 6th round, number 185 overall, you got Will Howard again. That one it's like, oh.
You got to expect they had to take a quarterback.
Let me ask, have you watched the Gruden?
I was watching a bit of it. I've not watched all of it, so no.
When you watch that, it makes you want to run through a wall. Will Howard brings the attitude that you want in a quarterback. Am I going to say that he be one of those people that says, oh, he's going to be the next Josh Allen? No. Let's calm down here.
No, they were talking about Big Ben for a second. I need them to calm down too. Because he's 6'4".
He's going to be the next Tom Brady. He's going to be no, I'm just kidding. I wish. But no, Will Howard is someone that let's see. Let's let him go for a year. Obviously, he's going to be. You got Mason Rudolph. We still don't know what the hell's going on with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, as of right now, Will Howard's the backup. As of right now, as of May 1st, 2025. So he will be the backup to Mason.
What about Skylar Thompson? Is he still on the team?
Yes, he is. He'll be probably cut or quarterback 4.
Well, but considering the fact that I'm saying, what if we don't get Rodgers? Because you're making the assumption that Rodgers, that we get him.
Oh, if we get him, then he's. I don't think Skylar Thompson's on. He's probably a practice squad guy,
right? But if he does it, and we have to roll with,
he's 3, quarterback 3.
You think?
I think they give Will Howard the backup spot.
Interesting.
Do you trust Skylar
with the way
Thompson?
That the history of how the Steelers run things with quarterbacks is with first round quarterbacks, you think they would give him the backup?
If he has a great camp and preseason, yes, they will.
That's but that's also asking a lot out of a 6th round quarterback.
Yeah, well, do you trust Skylar Thompson more?
He at least has NFL experience. But that's what I'm saying. When you look, right now, I know we're arguing 2 piles of shit at this point.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
Mm-hmm.
With the way that the Steelers have run with Mike Tomlin and the way that they've run the quarterback situation, I mean, hell, they had Kenny Pickett starting off as third string, and he was a first-round pick. I get it. Kenny Pickett wasn't great. I get that. But from context of things, he was a first-round pick.
I get it. I think they learn from the Kenny Pickett experience, and maybe they go a different way. They got to try something different. Listen,
that they're sticking to their ways.
Listen, it's got to be different for this season at least. Because next year, look, we were talking about the quarterback class for next season. We got a lot of comp picks. Steelers could be very aggressive. They can go get a QB who they want if they really want to. But as of this,
take another edge rusher.
They got to extend TJ first, and that's what they need to do next year. But
which, by the way, it's just funny because that like whole contract thing with him, like that hasn't even reached my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because considering the fact that the last time we were in this situation, he didn't sign until like what, a week? It was like a week before the season started.
Yeah. So I'm not worried. I think they're going to get it done.
So, yeah, I'm not worried about it at all.
But back to the quarterback conversation, I don't know, man. Will Howard's your guy. He was my guy. He's a winner. Apparently, he had a tough first half of the season, but finished strong. Win.
Well, go
for it.
He had one bad play in the final play against Oregon. He had the blunder. So he had that. Now, I did not get a chance to watch that game live because I was in Vegas absolutely getting obliterated.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing like 4 TVs at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then the Michigan game, I mean, and obviously there's no excuse into this part. We lost, and I don't blame this on Will Howard at all.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember too, he took a hit in that game. Probably, let's be honest, should not have come back in that game.
Yep.
I'm convinced that he was concussed because he took a lick, and he just wasn't the same after.
So okay, well,
yeah, and
the way he finished
playoffs. You look at the playoffs and what he was able to do. I mean, they absolutely lit it up.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, who had obviously James Pierce on that defense, who did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Then you go up against the number one Oregon. Then you go up against Texas, who had a pretty damn good defense.
Yep.
And then, so they dominated the whole damn playoffs, and Will Howard played phenomenal in all those games.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I do have I want to have confidence in him, but I got to calm my expectations down on a 6th round quarterback. Just because he's my quarterback and just because he's on my team doesn't mean I'm gonna overhype my expectations. Just because what I want versus reality.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. No, I agree. But as of right now, there's no Aaron Rodgers. There is. We have Mason Rudolph's QB1 as of now. I guess, yeah, you put Skylar Thompson and Will Howard fighting for the backup spot. And that's it.
We'll look at something here while we're.
I know we're talking about it's a 6th round quarterback, but we don't have much choice.
So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, I'd love to see Will Howard get a chance and light it up.
I would love it too.
We'll have to see. And then obviously you get to the round 7. You get linebacker from Washington. Was it Carson Bruner?
Apparently he's the son of Mike Bruner, something like that. From the Steelers back in the day. Apparently that's what my dad was telling me.
Oh, so I got someone now. here calling me out, saying, "My guy Kirby, you got no clue what you're chirping about." Okay, first off, let me know what am I clueless on?
Mm-hmm.
What am I off base on? Because I'm curious to see. Because I'm curious to see what you disagree on about, and then we can kind of discuss, your side of things and all that. But in the meantime, going to round 7, pick 229, the last pick that the Steelers had, they had a corner from Central Michigan, Dante Kent. So it seems like they have the trend of going after corners in the late rounds, which, by the way, kind of sucks.
Yep.
Kind of sucks that what happened. Was it Xavier Watts?
I don't know what happened.
Homie, low-key brain. Okay, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think this might be a troll account, and I think I know who it is. So, I'm just not even gonna feed into that.
Let's just.
I won't feed into that anymore. But yeah, it seems like they have that trend of going after corners, late in rounds, and we'll see. It was Ryan Watts, by the way, not Xavier.
Ryan Watts, yes, that's
right. I don't know why I had Xavier in my mind. But yeah, Ryan Watts. Obviously, we saw what happened to him. He was another one of those late round corners that ended up getting, basically having to medically retire, which sucks for but
it is what
hope nothing but the best for him. And speaking of hoping for nothing for the best, hope that fan that was. Did you see that? The fan that
fell in PNC Park is.
Oh my gosh! And for those that have been to that stadium, that's a little ways down. I've sat over there, and I hope prayers to him and his family. Hope that everything hopefully he's able to come out of this, make a full recovery.
Jeez.
I wonder if this is going to start to become a point where there ends up being like new regulations within the stadium. Because remember, there was a girl that got hit a couple years ago in the face with a line drive foul ball, and then teams started having the full netting.
Yep.
I wonder if that's something that this could there be something that eventually?
I don't know.
We'll see. But yeah, so that is the 2025 Steeler draft class. Overall,
very happy
with it. Would have liked to see them get a corner earlier in the draft, but
agreed.
We'll see.
Go sign someone in free agency.
Or do they just decide to maybe just roll into the season?
I understand.
We'll see.
Well, who's free agents? I know
that's what I'm looking up right now. Actually,
apparently, I think Mike Hilton is still a free agent. By the way,
let's see. Let's go to corners. All right, who is still a free agent available? You have James Bradbury.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kendall Fuller.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's crazy. He's still a free agent.
Stephon Gilmore. 34-and-a-half-year-old Stephon Gilmore. Rasul Douglas.
Oh, great.
Mike Hilton. Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, Jack Jones.
Well, Jack Jones,
yeah.
The only reason I'm saying it because we have a bunch of 1-year deal guys that are corners. Darius Slay and Eccles are 1-year guys.
It's going to be interesting to see. We'll have to see. I I personally don't. I think that they're not signing anyone.
I
But
agree.
maybe that's just me.
I get it. I prefer one more.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. But other than that, do you got anything else you want to talk about within the draft? I know we mentioned the schedule release in a couple weeks. It sucks that this year they're doing it on a Wednesday.
Yep.
Which I know for a fact I will be at work.
Probably I will be.
So no draft, no live reaction to the draft or to the schedule release but we'll probably do one that following, that next day, the Thursday, and potential plans will be starting to be made.
Agreed, definitely will be. But other than that, draft overall,
Jared would be letting his personal pilot know for his private plane.
Okay.
When he needs to be ready.
That's crazy. Don't have a private plane. Don't listen to this guy.
Don't listen to this guy. He got it.
No, I don't got it. I don't got it.
Congratulations to you and all your success.
No, I don't got it. Kirby just lying to the world right now is crazy.
First off, lying is a sin, and I don't sin.
Okay. But there's any other teams you like that drafted? I don't know if you really saw them. I don't know if you really pay attention to.
I mean, the Giants, they went out and got 2 premier positions in the first round. You can't necessarily hate what they did. Let's see. What did Baltimore do? So they got Malachi Starks, Mike Green, of course.
Oh, Mike Green too.
Emory Jones. Well, I'm not a fan of him. They got a kicker.
Yeah, they had to.
6th round. Yeah, their draft's all right. Oh, let's see. What about the Giants? Let's look at what the Giants did overall in the full draft. Where they at right here? So they got Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart, Darius Alexander, Cam Scadaboo, Marcus Zembu. Yeah, okay. I really, really like what the Giants did.
Scadaboo to the Giants. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I really love what the Giants did.
Scadaboo. I can't believe Tyler Shuck is the 3rd quarterback that went.
Yeah.
I know he went to the Saints. Miller went to Seattle. I like the spot where he's at. Seattle's not a bad spot for him.
New England getting Travion Henderson. That was kind of nice for him. Let's see here. The Bucs getting Benjamin Morris. That was kind of nice. Washington getting Trey Amos from Ole Miss. He was someone that really rose late, and everyone thinking he was going to be a potential late 1st round guy. Got him late in the 2nd. Can't hate that at all. Azaria Thomas going in the 3rd round to the Jets. That was a little shocking that he dropped a little bit. Siobhan Revel going to the Cowboys. I'm not fully surprised. I thought he could have probably went. He had an outside the box shot of being a late 1st round guy, but probably thought he was going to be a 2nd because he has a knee injury that he's still recovering from.
Yep.
But he's that was a good pickup for them. Let's see. Jalen Milroe going to the Seahawks. Dylan Gabriel going to the Browns in the 3rd round. That was
they got a lot of quarterbacks in that quarterback room.
And they all suck.
I can't Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in the same locker room. Oh, man.
We shall see. But
that was good. It's a good draft. I'm happy. Now it's I guess the Aaron Rodgers watch still continues.
It sure as hell will be, and the countdown to the draft in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. A year, less than a year from now.
I had already asked my supervisor. I said, "Yeah, how does that work? Because I have a trip that needs to go to Pittsburgh, and it has to happen." And she goes, "For what?" I was like, "The NFL draft is in Pittsburgh." She goes, "I should have known."
I should have known. Yeah,
but
it's gonna be a lot of people there. Probably.
Oh yeah, and hopefully, you, me, is your dad gonna go to that?
He'll try. I'll ask him. A couple of my friends down here are gonna go, though.
And then I know our boy Herb is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be surprised if maybe my boy Hunter goes.
It's gonna be a lot of people. I expect over 200,000, maybe more.
We'll see. I'm curious to see where they're gonna hold it.
That's very true as well. Don't even know where it's going to be in Pittsburgh. If you haven't been to Pittsburgh, it's there's not a lot of room.
No, there is.
The only thing I can think is the stadium. That's the only thing I can think of.
But even then, the only time that they've really done that was in 2018 with Cowboys.
Like inside the stadium type?
Inside the stadium. They did it inside the stadium.
Because Green Bay kind of had it. Not really. The players like walked through, well, like the draft prospect. They had like some fans in there to let you walk into Lambeau. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. That's not my job.
Well, the Browns did that in 21. They had it to where as you were walking, like the draft was right outside the stadium, but you were able to go. I kicked a field goal. Mm-hmm. I have a video of me kicking a field goal in Browns Stadium, getting absolutely heckled and booed because I was wearing a Bumblebee Ben jersey.
So. We'll see. It's not my job to figure out where it is or our jobs. Logistics, that sounds like a hell of a nightmare. But
we shall see.
Shall see.
But think that might be about it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, if you're on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're on X, make sure to go and follow both of us. I'm right there. He's right there. And if you're on my Facebook, well, then what's up? Mm-hmm. And until then, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Have fun. I got to get ready to go to work. Mm-hmm. I'm on day 4 of 10 in a row. And
you're almost halfway.
Yeah.
Whew. Almost halfway. Come on.
We're halfway there. Oh. All right. I won't.
Almost there.
But till then, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, have fun. Until then, peace out.